Hey guys, this is April at Georgia Mom Plans. I have another video for you today, and today is going to be a long-awaited reading update. This summer was crazy. It flew by. I was so busy. I have not got a video up for you, I think, since May. It's now August, and I was enjoying life, to be honest. So today I have my June and July reading wrap up for you. So just going to do both of the months all together. June was the first full month of summer break, my son's birthday. We had multiple birthdays and we left for the beach. So June was a very light reading month for me, so I figured just based on that, I would also combine it with July, and because we're so far after the fact, so I'm excited to jump into this, get you updated on everything that I've read in June and July. I have been updating my journal as I've gone, so I have a lot of updates in here. I'm going to try and keep things straight for June and July. So what I'm going to do is just here at the front, I'm going to go through these pages here for June and July. I'm just going to tell you all the updates I made for that, and then we'll break down June and July when I get to those sections in the back. So looking at my 26 and 2026, I haven't done a lot, but I have made some progress. So in June, I read The God of the Woods, which is one of my books that I had actually assigned to read in June. And then in July, I read Red Rising and Riftborn. So I have made some progress. I have also come to the conclusion that I'm probably not going to finish this book. I have picked up so many series that have just had my attention that there's a lot of stuff on here that I don't want to pick up. I'd rather pick up something else. So I am not making myself pick up these books just because I put them on this list. But I am still going to read quite a few of them. I just don't think I'm going to finish. But I did read 3 over the 2 months from this list. And then looking at book of the month, for June, I selected The Shrouded Queen. For July, I selected The Winged Game. I'm really excited about The Winged Game. I would love to pick that one up sooner rather than later because it's a fantasy, like a sports fantasy book, and I'm really excited about that. So moving on to my physical TBR, I have read a few books on my physical TBR. So from my physical TBR, I read The God of the Woods, Red Rising, and Yesteryear. All of those I read from my physical TBR in June and July. Looking at my book clubs, I didn't actually watch the live for The Fury of the Gods. I had finished it so long ago, I didn't end up watching that live. But looking at my mom book club, we did Lives of the Wives in July, so you'll hear about that one shortly. And then the next one will be in my August. Looking at my series tracker, I've made some progress. Quite a few of these are going to be in August, but I did start the Red Rising trilogy in July. And then I also read The Gate of the Feral Gods in June. And then I also had quite a few Finlay Donovans. I am up to date now on the Finlay Donovan series. I don't know if she has more coming out. I just assume she does, but I'm up to date of everything that is out now. Looking at my yearly book tracker, so through the end of July, I read 45 books. I was at 45 at the end of July. I've done 4 books thus far in August. So through the end of July, 45 books. Really great, on track to meet my goal, no problems there. So of my alphabet reading challenge, what I read in June and July, I read my P, The Phantom Tollbooth, and my Y, Yesteryear. So made some progress there. I'm also just accepting that I'm probably not going to finish this. I really do not think that a U, V, X, or Z are going to happen. I still have hope that I'll do a J and O, but I do not think these other 4 are going to happen, and it'll be okay. It will be okay. So moving right along, let's fill in some stats, which I am so excited to get these filled in. It has been bothering me so much not having these filled in. So let me get Storygraph open. Looking in June, like I said, June was a very light reading month. I only read 3 books in June. So crazy. Now granted, the physical book I read was a thick one, but I was busy. So I only read 1,000. It's the first month of the year that I have only read 1,000 pages. So 1,265 pages. And yeah, I felt it, but it is okay. So that is June. I think I'll come back, or maybe I'll go ahead and update July as well. So July was a much better reading month. July I read 8 books, which is actually my highest book total for the year in a month. Granted, one of those books was a small it was middle grade, but I'm still counting it. So for those 8 books, I read 3,116 pages, which is my highest page count of the year, because January was 3,100. So by 16 pages, July was my highest page count of the year. I'm actually on track to potentially beat that in August. We shall see. But yeah, July, I was able to get a lot of reading done, which is awesome. So let's get to the monthly spreads. So for June, I already have some stickers pulled. So what I am doing for June, I have my Jessica Hart's reading journal headers. So green and blue are kind of the colors I'm going with in June. And then I've got my Hello June dashboard from Blissful Jade Designs. And then for my book review stickers, these are from Pen, Paper, and Plans. These are actually the collection that I collaborated with Karen on. So this is the April Reads collection. I will be using these reviews. I only read 3 books though, so I only get to use a few of them, but that is okay. I will obviously be saving those, and I may even use them in July. I haven't even picked out what I'm doing for July yet. We'll be doing that together. So I've got these green uppercase and lowercase little circle letters from Pen, Paper, and Plans, my Book of the Month award from Scribble Prints Co. And then I have just a few more. This is a little book review sticker from Pen, Paper, and Plans, a little book beach house, which I think I'm going to save this one for July because I was at the beach for the majority of July. Got these cute little stamps from the Crafty Banana, and then my April Reads deco from Pen, Paper, and Plans. We got some of the small deco, and then the XLs, and then this cute little cup from the Crafty Banana. I think I'm going to save these, and I'm just going ahead and committing that I'm going to use that in July because I had not pulled anything for July. So I'm just going to use all of this June and July, and I think that'll be okay. So let me get my base set up, and then we'll go through all of the books for June. All right, so I've got my June spread set up. I think this looks so cute. I love the colors. So I went ahead and put all of my books in here that I read. I did read 2 physical books in the month of June, one of which was The Gate of the Feral Gods by Matt Denneman. This is book 4 in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. I also read Yesteryear as a physical read, but I already loaned that one to a friend to read because I loved it. So those are my physical reads for the month. I always love showing y'all my physical reads. So let's get into what I track for the month. It's been so long, I literally need to go back here and see what all I track. So I do put pages read, and let me just go back to I have it written down. Okay, so let's first put pages read. So let's do pages. I'm using the super cute library card sticker just to put in my stats that I usually keep track of. So 1,265. And then I also do my average rating. So for the month, my average rating was a 4.83, quite the high average rating. Especially with only having 3 books, at least they were all great. So 4.83 there. And then I know I do genres and then the longest and shortest. So let's do, I'm going to write the header over here, genres. So my genres were not a lot because there's only 3. So I've got literary fiction and fantasy for Gate of the Feral Gods. There we go. And then what else do I like to put on here? Longest and shortest, and then reading progress. So let's do shortest, which I'm going to have to go back and look at those. I'm sure that Gate of the Feral Gods was the longest. Reading goal progress. So May I had gotten to 34. I read 3, so I was at 37 of 60. Reading goal. All right. So now let's go through the books. First that I finished was The Correspondent. So this one I read as an audiobook. I absolutely loved The Correspondent. I mean, I read it, I listened to it in a matter of 4 days. I thought it was so good. It made me cry. It made me so happy. And I gave it a 5 stars. So I am using my Tombow here to fill in my star ratings. Correspondent was 5 stars. So good. It had literally no spice, so I'm just going to skip that. And then I put audiobook. What else do I usually, so format I already have on here. So I don't need to put anything else. That's all I need there. All right. The second book that I read was Yesteryear by Caro Claire Burke, another literary fiction. It definitely had more thriller elements to it. The Correspondent was straight literary fiction. And Yesteryear I read physically. I also gave it 5 stars. I loved it. I did not see the twist coming at all. It was a good thriller surprise for me. I started out slow. It took me 2 weeks to read this one. It took me a little bit to get into it, but once, like the second half, I flew through. I loved it. I'm going to give it 1 pepper. There was very minimal spicy scenes, very minimal, but I did give that one 5 stars as well. So how am I going to choose between The Correspondent and Yesteryear? I truly don't know. Gate of the Feral Gods, also love this one. This is Matt Dinniman. Like I said, book 4 of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. I gave this one 4.5 stars. I did really enjoy it. I mean, I love all the books in the series. My husband is currently reading book 5, and once he finishes it, I might pick it up, but I also have a lot I want to read the remainder of the year, so we shall see. No spice at all on Gate of the Feral Gods, 4.5 stars, and I read it physically. What a great month. So even though it was only 3 books, it was still a great month. How do I choose the book of the month, y'all? I had 2 5 stars. Correspondent was amazing. It definitely made me feel more. Yesteryear was more like shocking, so it was thriller. I think I'm going to have to give it to Correspondent. It was a special book. I really, really enjoyed it. I also have enjoyed coloring these in the past few months. Have I done like different colors? Yes, so I've been kind of matching the colors. So I'm going to pick a light blue here and color in this little Book of the Month award here for The Correspondent. So down here I did put a little favorite quote section. So I will find a favorite quote from The Correspondent. I am sure I'll be able to find one, especially dealing with motherhood. I am sure I will find one that resonated with me. It was so good. I'm honestly glad that I read it on audiobook too. I loved all the different narrators they had. Do I usually do the letter too? Yes. So let's do the J here. So my book of the month for June was The Correspondent. I honestly had no idea going into it what was going to be my book of the month. So very happy with that. Now let's move into July. So for July, I did go ahead and already lay down my base here. July was almost the opposite month of June, just in strictly books read. So I did read 8 books, so I do want to fill that in here. I did use some of these boxes from Blissful J Designs, but I do have to use a permanent marker on those. So let me do that up here. So let's do pages. So many pages. But what a good month. 3,116 pages. And then average rating. I think I'm going to do a little deco here. And then I'll do average rating. Average rating for the month for 8 books. I hope it's high, but I honestly don't know. It'll be a surprise for both of us. So my average rating was a 4.47. Pretty freaking good. I feel like I have been reading some good books. Do I want to do... No, I'm just going to leave that like that. Okay. Oh my gosh. Wait till you hear all these ratings. Wow. What a good month. Okay. Genres. Let's do genres here. I'm going to write it in the box. Quite the spread of genres this month. So, genres read. I had romance. I had 3 romance books. I loved the romance audiobooks I did this month. Romance. I don't have any of these labeled as mystery. I guess The God of the Wood was thriller. So we'll put thriller. Fantasy. Well, do I have any that I label as fantasy? I have, yeah, I do. Fantasy and romantasy. I like to separate romantasy and fantasy, and Storygraph doesn't always do that, but that is okay. So let's do fantasy, romantasy, and a sci-fi, which, wait till we have August. It's going to be sci-fi heavy. Okay, so genres. Now let's see, what else do I want to do? Longest, shortest, and then reading goal. Let's do another little deco here for that. So let's do shortest. The shortest was definitely The Phantom Tollbooth. I actually know that one off the top of my head. The Phantom Tollbooth. I'm really glad I picked that one up. I will obviously talk about everything as we get to the reviews, but I'm really glad I read that one. I never read it growing up. So shortest. Now let's do longest. I'm gonna have to look. My guess is going to be Right to the Starling. Pretty sure it's gonna be Right to the Starling, but I'm just gonna leave that there for now. And then what else? My reading goal update. Is that the only other thing? Yes. Okay, so reading goal update. Let's do another little book here. What I just wrote reading goal. So I ended the month before at how many? 37. And then I read 8, so that meant I said that earlier. I ended at 45. Reading goal 30. Nope. Thank goodness for whiteout. 45. Let's do this. 45 of 60. Okay, here we go. Now let's get to the books. So the first book that I read in July was The Lives of the Wives. It was a nonfiction that we were doing for our mom's book club. I did that as an audiobook. It was not my favorite. It was a book. It had some interesting moments, but it was a nonfiction about wives of literary authors, or of authors. So wives in literary marriages. Some of the wives were also authors. It was just information about them. It didn't really have like an overarching story, or it didn't tie them all together. It was just like, hey, it kind of sucked being a wife of an author. That's what I got out of it. So I gave this 3.5 stars. I feel weird kind of even rating a nonfiction, but 3.5 stars feels fine. There was no spice at all. Well, I guess there was technically some, but none that I am rating. So 3.5 stars for Lives of the Wives. I read it. Moving on. Next was God of the Woods. I really enjoyed this book. I love summer camp. It is something that is just close to my heart, and I could not wait to pick it up. So The physical books I read this month were The God of the Woods. Loved this. I could see myself rereading this one in the future, and I highly suggest it, as well as Red Rising. I also read The Phantom Tollbooth as a physical read, but one of my good friends loaned it to me, so I have already returned it. But yeah, I have 3 physical reads. And for The God of the Woods, like I said, I loved it. The ending was a little, like, it let me down a little bit. So I gave this a 4.25. It was a really good book. I'm so glad I read it. Just wasn't a full 5-star, but I loved the setting. I love a summer camp. So fun. I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to do 0.25. I'm just going to do like the top. There we go. 4.25. That's my first like quarter of a star I've awarded. I felt like it wasn't a 4-star. Like it was a little bit more than a 4-star, but not a 4.5. So that was The God of the Woods. No spice there. It kind of hinted at a little spice, but really didn't have any. So I'm just going to leave no peppers. And that was a physical read. I read that one in 10 days. Loved it. Next was Rites of the Starling. I could not wait to read this book or listen to the audiobook. I did audio. I loved Shield of Sparrows, and I cannot wait for the 3rd book to come out next year. And Rites of the Starling was a 5-star. I loved it. Just so good. I love this series. I really do. It hits for me. So 5-star read, Rites of the Starling. Let's see, spice. I'm gonna give it 2. I'm gonna give it 2 peppers. Yeah, there's pretty good spice. I liked it. And like I said, I did audiobook for that one. Read that one in 8 days, or listened to it in 8 days. Loved it. Just so good. Next was The Phantom Tollbooth. Like I said, this was a physical read. And I gave this one 5 stars. Just such a good, like, feel good middle grade book. I don't know why I did not read it as a kid. One of my friends brought it up and she was shocked that I didn't read it as a kid. So I am so glad that I picked it up, and I cannot wait for my son to read it one day. So this one is labeled as fantasy, which, I mean, it's definitely fantastical, but, you know, it's a middle grade read. Read it in 4 days. Honestly, should not have even taken me that long, but I took my time, and obviously no spice in a middle grade book. Physical read. So next we have Say You'll Remember Me. I love Abby Jimenez. To me, she can almost do no wrong. Like, her books are so good. So this was Say You'll Remember Me. Obviously a romance. I loved it. I loved both the male main character. He's a veterinarian. The female main character, she was hilarious. There were lots of animals. 5-star read. So good. I loved it. Like, I laughed out loud during it. I cried. Her mom was sick during it. It definitely was emotional. It had other things going on. I loved it. I'm going to give this one 2 peppers as well. Did have some good spice. Not a ton, but some good spice. So that was another audiobook that I loved. Then I did Finley Donovan Crosses the Line, which this is like the 6th book in that series. Let's look at my series tracker. Yeah, 6th book in that series. Oops, this one was also this was a mystery. I forgot to put the genre there. So mystery. These are just fun times. Like, not a lot of deep things going on, just a fun time. I love listening to the audiobooks. I gave it a 3.5 stars. I think I've given almost every book in the series 3.5 stars. Like, there's just not a lot going on. I mean, there's a lot going on, but it's not deep, you know. It's just a fun time. It's just fun. And I liked it. 3.5 stars. There was a little bit of spice. I'm going to give it 1 pepper. It was pretty good. And I listened to that one on audiobook as well. Next was Dolly All the Time. Annabelle Monaghan. Love her. I think this was my 3rd book by her. And it was so good. Guess what? Romance. Audiobook, 5-star. I'm on a roll here, y'all. This one I read in 2 days. 2 days. I loved it. The female main character was older. She has a teenage son, and I loved it. And I really liked the male main character too. Another 5-star, and I'm gonna give this one 2 peppers as well. I love Dolly All the Time. I thought it was hilarious. Annabelle Monaghan can write some good books. And this one also had me laughing out loud. Loved it. So that was my last 5-star of the month, but my last read of the month was Red Rising, which I loved. Science fiction. This is a series that I have been looking forward to starting all year. It's one of my 26 and 2026 books, and I loved it. I read this one in 12 days. It was great, made me immediately jump into Golden Sun, and I'm so excited to continue that series. For Red Rising, I did give it 4.5 stars. Not a perfect 5-star, but I truly loved it. I read it as a physical book, and it was just great. I love a good science fiction for sure. No spice in that one. I'm gonna leave those blank. What a good month, y'all. Like, to go from 3 to 8 is wild. Now, the next hard thing, what book is going to be my book of the month when you had 1, 2, 3 5 stars? I thought it was hard in June having 2 5 stars, having 3 5 stars. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I had 4 5 stars. I think I have to give it to Rights of the Starling. I loved it. I love this series. I love a good romantasy. It was just so good. I will tell you though, in the month of August, I can all but promise that one of my book of the month, or my book of the month, is going to be in the Red Rising series. I can all but promise it. Yeah, so looking forward to that. What color do I want to do July? I think I want to do, maybe we'll do just like a brighter blue than I did for June, so we can color that one in. So yeah, I'm so glad we got to catch up on my June and July reading wrap up. Like I said, I have been updating my reading journal, but I have been so sad not being able to share with you my reading wrap up. So hopefully for August, we will be back on track for regular monthly reading wrap-ups. And speaking of August, I do want to show you the physical TBR that I have set aside for August. I'm actually going to pull, I just have one sticker left on this deco sheet. I'm going to pull it, I'll put it here. We had so much blank space in June, but okay. Thinking ahead to August, my physical TBR for August, I have 3 books pulled, but there's going to be a 4th as well. I am filming this on August 12th. I've already finished Golden Sun. Morning Star will be delivered in 2 days, and I'm going to immediately jump into it. Golden Sun was amazing. I cannot wait for Morning Star. I'm loving this series. Look at this beauty, A Court of Thorns and Roses. These are the Night Court editions. So, fun fact, when I first read this series back in 2018, I read it on my Kindle. I have the entire series on my Kindle, and since then I have reread it on my Kindle as well as reread listening to the audiobooks. I've listened to the audiobooks multiple times now, but I have never read the physical books of these. So, with the 6th book coming out in October, I thought it was the perfect time to do a reread. So I will be starting A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm actually going to pick it up in between Golden Sun and Morning Star. Just start it until Morning Star gets delivered. Go to Morning Star, finish it, and then I'll come back. I just feel like that will be a good book that I can put down because I've read it so many times. I think this will maybe be my 5th time reading it. I think that's safe to say 5th time. Really excited about it, and I love these Night Court editions. I hope they do it for the 6th book. So excited. Like I said, I don't have Morning Star yet. That will be my 3rd physical read. I pulled this one because I so badly want to read it. This is Summer's Never Over by Darby Bozeman. I picked this up, I think, in my June book of the month box. It is a summer camp story. Like I said, I love a summer camp story, so I would love to squeeze this into August or maybe just the beginning of September. The books that I was supposed to read, the books that are on my 26 and 2026 that should be on this list are, before I forget, I do want to eventually read this. I'm just not in a place where I want to read such a sad book, and I'm just loving the Red Rising series right now, so I'm pushing this one to the side. I may not get to this one this year. And then I also have Babel. Babel I was supposed to read in June, and for whatever reason, I'm just not interested in picking it up. I've heard such mixed reviews, but I really want to read it, so pushing this one off for a later date. This one I want to read, and it's timely, seasonally, so hopefully. What's the likelihood I could read 4 physical books? Pretty low. I think the highest number of physical books I've read in a month is 3. But as fast as I went through Golden Son, I mean, it still took me almost 2 weeks. We'll see. We'll see. I did have a lot going on with my son going back to school, so maybe I'll be able to do Morning Star, A Court of Thorn and Roses, which should be a quick read because I've read it so many times. Maybe I'll at least start Summer's Number over this month. Maybe I'll end up finishing it in September. We shall see. But I'm so excited for everything that I read in June and July and for what's to come in August. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not already, go follow me over on Instagram so you can see pictures of all of my spreads in my reading journal. If you read any of the same books as me, please comment below. Let me know your thoughts and what you rated them. And if you have any book suggestions based on the books that I just talked about, please leave those below as well. I'm always looking for more suggestions, even though my TBR list is never ending, so long. It's okay. I always want more good books. There is always time to read good books, and I'm so excited to read some more in August. I so appreciate y'all watching. I'm sorry it's been so long since I have been here, but now that my son is back in school, I'll be able to regularly post videos for you. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I will try and get videos out for you every single month with reading and planning related content. And I really appreciate you watching. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!